Have you ever felt like you've been forgotten? Like your existence doesn't seem to matter anymore? As if your prayers rise into the sky, but never come back with an answer? As if you keep asking, keep hoping, yet nothing seems to change? There are moments when life feels paused just for you, like everyone else is moving forward, finding happiness, achieving their dreams, while you remain stuck in the same place, carrying the same pain, fighting the same silent battles. It's heavy, and sometimes it feels unbearable. There are nights when your heart is so full, yet you have no words to explain what you're feeling. You sit in silence, holding back tears that only Allah sees. You smile in front of people, pretending everything is okay. But deep inside, there's a storm no one understands. You wonder if your du'as are being heard, if your pain is being noticed, if your struggle has any meaning at all. But listen carefully. Even in this moment of doubt, of loneliness, of quiet suffering, you are not forgotten. Not for a second, not for a heartbeat. Allah sees every tear that falls, even the ones you wipe away quickly so no one notices. He hears every dua you whisper, even the ones you can't fully put into words. He knows the weight in your chest, the thoughts you can't share, the pain you try to hide from the world.
You may feel forgotten, but Allah never forgets you. Not your tears, not your pain, not even your silent du'as. Every moment of patience, every second of hardship, every ounce of sadness you carry, it is all seen, all known, and never wasted. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, Allah is working in ways you cannot see, preparing something greater than what you're asking for. So, if your heart feels tired, if your soul feels heavy, hold on just a little longer, because the one who created your heart knows exactly how to heal it, and the one who hears your silent cries will answer you in the most perfect way, at the most perfect time.
There are struggles you carry that no one ever sees, battles you fight silently, without telling a single soul. From the outside, everything may look fine. You show up, you smile, you speak like everything is normal. But inside, you're tired. Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, deeply tired, in a way that sleep doesn't fix. Some nights, you smile in front of people, but cry alone. You wait until you're by yourself, until the world goes quiet, and then everything you've been holding in begins to pour out. The tears you hide during the day finally fall, and in those moments, it feels like no one truly understands what you're going through. And some pain you can't even put into words. You try to explain it, but it doesn't come out right. It sits heavy in your chest, unspoken, undefined. It's the kind of pain that makes you feel distant, even when you're surrounded by people. The kind that makes you feel unseen, like no one notices the weight you carry. You give so much of yourself to others, yet deep down, you feel empty. You listen to everyone else's problems. You support them. You stand strong for them. But when it comes to your own pain, you stay silent. Not because you want to, but because you feel like no one would truly understand. But even in this silence, even in the loneliness you feel, you are not alone. Allah sees what others don't. He sees the tears you hide behind your smile. He sees the strength it takes for you to get through each day when your heart feels heavy. He sees the moments you break down, and the moments you gather yourself again just to keep going. Allah knows what you hide, the thoughts you keep to yourself, the pain you don't share, the fears you try to ignore. Nothing about you is hidden from Him. Not a single feeling, not a single struggle. And even when it feels like no one is there for you, Allah is, closer than anyone could ever be, listening to every silent cry, understanding every unspoken word. In the quiet moments, when you feel invisible, when it seems like no one truly notices what you're going through, remember this: you are seen. Not by the world, not by people, but by the one whose sight never misses a single detail. Allah is al-Basir, the one who sees everything. Not just what is visible on the outside, but what is hidden deep within your heart. He sees the tears that fall in the darkness of the night. He sees the way your chest tightens when the weight becomes too much. He sees the silent patience you carry, the strength you show when you feel like breaking. Nothing escapes him. Not a moment of your pain, not a second of your struggle, not even the thoughts you try to push away. Every hardship you face, every test you endure, it is all completely known to him, in ways no human could ever understand. Indeed, Allah is subtle with his servants. He knows exactly what you need, even when you don't understand it yourself. His plans unfold in ways that are gentle, precise, and often beyond what you can see right now. What feels confusing to you is already perfectly arranged by him. Your situation is not ignored, even if it feels delayed, even if it feels like nothing is changing. It is not forgotten. There is wisdom in what you're going through, even if your heart struggles to see it. And your struggle is recorded. Every tear, every moment of patience, every time you held on instead of giving up. It is all being written. Nothing is lost. Nothing is wasted. Not even the pain you felt when no one else was there. So when you feel unseen by the world, remember that you are fully seen by Allah, and His sight is enough, because He sees not just where you are, but where you are meant to be. There are things in your heart that you've never been able to explain. Not to people, not even to yourself. Feelings that don't have clear words. Pain that doesn't fit into sentences. You try to make sense of it, but it only becomes heavier the more you think about it. But Allah is Al-Alim, the one who knows everything. Not just what you say, but what you mean. Not just your words, but your intentions. He knows the thoughts that cross your mind in silence, the emotions you suppress, the questions you're too afraid to ask out loud. He knows your intentions, even when others misunderstand you, even when your actions are judged incorrectly. Allah knows what's truly in your heart. He knows the good you wanted to do, even if things didn't turn out the way you hoped. He knows the sincerity behind your efforts, the quiet struggle to stay strong, the desire to do what's right. And He understands your silence, the moments when you sit quietly, unable to speak, the times when your heart is overwhelmed, but your lips can't form the words, when your du'as feel incomplete, when all you can do is sit there and feel. Allah understands all of it. Even when you don't know how to explain your pain, Allah already understands. Before you say anything, before you even raise your hands in dua, He already knows what your heart is carrying. There is no confusion in His knowledge, no delay in His understanding. He doesn't need explanations. He doesn't need perfect words. Your silence speaks to Him just as clearly as your voice. So don't feel distant just because you don't know what to say. Don't feel unheard just because your du'as feel broken. Allah knows deeply, completely, and perfectly. And the one who fully understands your heart is the one who knows exactly how to heal it. Sometimes the hardest question your heart asks is, why do I feel forgotten? You pray, you wait, you hope, Yet the silence stretches longer than you expected. And in that silence, doubt slowly begins to grow. You start to wonder if your du'as are being heard, or if you've somehow been left behind. But what you're feeling is not abandonment. It's something much deeper, something your heart may not fully understand yet. Tests are not abandonment. When life becomes heavy, when things don't go the way you planned, it's not a sign that Allah has turned away from you. In fact, it can be a sign that He is bringing you closer. Because sometimes the only way your heart returns sincerely is when it feels the weight of the world and turns back to Him completely. And delay is not denial. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it never will. Allah's timing is not based on your urgency. It's based on His perfect knowledge. He sees what you don't see. He knows what you're not ready for yet. And He knows the exact moment when what you're asking for will be good for you, not harmful to you. What feels like distance is actually preparation. In the moments where you feel far, Allah is shaping your heart, strengthening your patience, and preparing you for something greater than what you can imagine right now. Every delay is building you. Every hardship is refining you, even if you don't realize it yet. And what feels like silence is actually wisdom. Just because you don't see the answer doesn't mean nothing is happening. Allah is never inactive. Behind what seems like stillness, there are things being arranged, protected, and written in ways you cannot see. Sometimes, if everything came to you instantly, it would break you instead of benefit you. And sometimes, what you're asking for needs time to become right for you. So when your heart feels like it's been left waiting, don't mistake that feeling for being forgotten, because the one who controls everything has not ignored you for a second. He is preparing something, and He is preparing you. There are moments in life when things don't go the way you hoped. Opportunities slip away, doors close, plans fall apart right in front of you. And in those moments, it's easy to feel disappointed, confused, even hurt. You start asking yourself, why didn't it happen? Or what did I do wrong? But what if what didn't happen was actually a form of protection? Allah's timing is perfect. Not early, not late, but exactly when it is meant to be. What you see as a missed opportunity may actually be something that would have brought you pain. What you thought was good for you, Allah knew wasn't, and in His mercy, He held it back. There are things you wanted so badly, things you prayed for with all your heart, but they never came, and at the time, it hurt deeply. But later, maybe much later, you begin to realize that if it had happened the way you wanted, it might have broken you instead of benefiting you. Sometimes a missed opportunity is not a loss, it's protection. Protection from something you couldn't see, something you weren't ready for, or something that wasn't meant to stay in your life. And sometimes what feels like a delay is actually leading you to something better. Delayed success is not failure, it's preparation, it's growth, it's Allah aligning everything in your life so that when it finally comes, it comes in the best way possible. Because if something is meant for you, it will reach you, no matter how far it seems, no matter how impossible it feels. And if it doesn't happen, then trust that it wasn't meant for you yet. If it didn't happen, it wasn't meant for you yet. Not because you weren't good enough, not because your du'as were ignored, but because Allah, in His perfect knowledge, knows the right time, the right way, and the right outcome for your life. So instead of holding on to disappointment, try to hold on to trust. Trust that what passed you was never meant to stay, and what is written for you will find its way to you at the perfect time. Because Allah's timing doesn't just give you what you want, it gives you what is best for you. There are moments when you raise your hands in dua and you wonder if anything is really happening. You speak to Allah from a heart full of needs, hopes, and silent requests, yet you don't see immediate change in your life. And slowly, doubt tries to enter. Was my dua even heard? But every sincere dua is heard, and none of it is ever wasted. Dua has outcomes that your eyes cannot always recognize in the moment. Sometimes Allah responds immediately. What you asked for is given to you in the exact way and time you needed it. A door opens suddenly. A problem is removed. A blessing arrives without delay. You realize it clearly. This was your dua being answered. And sometimes it is delayed, not ignored, not rejected, but held back for a time that is better for you. Because Allah knows the full picture of your life. He knows when something will benefit you most and when it might harm you. So your dua is stored, protected, and given to you at the perfect time, when your heart is ready and your life can truly hold it. And sometimes what you asked for is replaced with something greater. You may not receive exactly what you imagined, but you are given something wiser, safer, and more beautiful than what you requested. Something that protects you from harm you couldn't see. Something that elevates your life in ways you didn't expect. The Prophet ﷺ taught that Allah responds to every dua in ways we don't always see. Sometimes it comes as a gift in this life, sometimes as protection from harm, and sometimes as reward stored for the hereafter. But it is never lost. Not a single sincere request disappears without response. So even when you don't see the answer, it is still being answered, just not always in the way you imagined. Because Allah does not ignore the voice that calls upon Him. Every Ameen you whispered reached the heavens. It did not fall into emptiness. It did not go unnoticed. It ascended with meaning, with weight, and with purpose, recorded by the one who never forgets even the smallest cry of his servant. So keep making dua, even when you feel tired, even when you see no change, because what you sent upward is never wasted, and what is written for you is never lost.
There are moments in life when loneliness feels overwhelming, not because you are physically alone, but because it feels like no one truly understands what you're carrying inside. People come and go, situations change, relationships fade, and sometimes even the ones you trusted the most seem distant when you need them the most. In those moments, the heart begins to feel isolated, as if you've been left to face everything on your own. But that feeling is not the full truth. Allah says in the Quran, "We are closer to Him than His jugular vein." Quran 50:16. This closeness is not symbolic distance. It is a reality beyond human understanding. It means that in your most hidden thoughts, in your quietest tears, in the pain you never spoke out loud, you were never disconnected, not even for a moment. You are never alone, even when the world feels empty, even when your phone is silent, even when you sit in your room and no one knows what you're going through. Allah is closer to you than anything else that claims closeness in your life. He is closer than your thoughts, closer than your breath, closer than the pain you feel but cannot describe. And in your darkest moments, when you think no one sees you, no one hears you, no one understands you, Allah is there, fully aware, fully present, fully knowing what your heart is going through. There are times when everyone leaves, friends step away, support feels distant, and you are left with your own silence. But even then, you are not abandoned. When everyone left, Allah stayed. He did not leave when you were strong, and He did not leave when you were weak. He did not leave when you were grateful,
and He did not leave when you were struggling. His closeness is not dependent on your condition. It is constant, steady, and unwavering. So even if your heart feels alone, remind yourself of this truth. You are held by a presence that never disappears, never forgets, and never turns away.
There are moments in life when pain feels meaningless, when your heart breaks in ways you never expected, when things you cared about deeply slip away, when loss leaves a silence that feels too heavy to carry. In those moments, it's easy to think, why me? Or what is the point of all this suffering? But in the sight of Allah, pain is never without purpose. Some of what you go through is a means of purification. Hardships can quietly remove sins you didn't even realize were weighing you down. Moments of sadness, patience, and endurance become a way of cleansing the heart, shaping you in ways comfort never could. And some of it is a way of building strength, because strength is not formed in ease, it is formed in struggle. In the nights you didn't think you could get through, but still did. In the days you kept going even when your heart was tired. In the moments you chose patience over despair. That heartbreak wasn't to break you, it was to rebuild you. What felt like collapse was actually reconstruction. Allah was reshaping your heart, teaching you resilience, and redirecting your dependence away from creation and back to the Creator. What hurt you was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to transform you into someone stronger, more aware, and more connected to Him. And that loss, the thing you thought you couldn't live without, may have been the very thing that brought you closer to Allah. When everything else became distant, your heart turned back to the one who never leaves. In that turning, there was mercy, even if it came wrapped in pain. Sometimes Allah removes what you love, not to punish you, but to protect your heart from becoming attached to what was never meant to last forever. And in that space of emptiness, He fills you with something deeper, reliance, sincerity, and closeness to Him. So even if your pain doesn't make sense right now, trust that it is not wasted. It is shaping you, cleansing you, and guiding you toward a version of yourself that could not have been formed without it. Because in the wisdom of Allah, even pain has purpose.
There are times when life feels like a series of closed doors. You try, you hope, you make effort, but things don't work out. Opportunities fall through, plans collapse, people walk away, and slowly you begin to wonder if you are being ignored, or if something is wrong with your path. But what if none of that is true? What if every closed door is not rejection, but redirection? Allah is always working in ways you cannot see. What feels like a loss today may actually be protection from something you were never meant to endure. A door you desperately wanted may have led to something that would have hurt you later, even if you couldn't see it at the time. And what feels like delay is not absence of care. It is preparation. Preparation of your heart, your circumstances, your timing, and even your future. Because when something is truly meant for you, it doesn't just arrive. It arrives at the right moment, in the right way, with the right outcome. Sometimes Allah closes a door only to open something far better, something you didn't even know to ask for, something that fits you more perfectly than what you lost. And when it finally arrives, you realize that what you wanted before could never compare to what was written for you.
You're not being ignored. You're being prepared. Prepared for something stronger, something wiser, something more aligned with who you are becoming. Every setback is shaping your story in ways your current understanding cannot fully grasp. And in the unseen, Allah is already writing something beautiful for you. Not rushed, not random, not incomplete, but perfectly measured, carefully timed,
and filled with wisdom you will only recognize when you look back. So even when things don't make sense, even when doors close unexpectedly, hold on to this truth. What is meant for you is still on its way, and what is truly written for you will never miss you. Because Allah's plan is not just about what you want, it is about what is best for you.
There comes a point in life where everything feels loud, except your connection with Allah. You may still pray, you may still say the words, but something inside feels distant, like the heart is present, but not fully present. And slowly you start to realize it's not about how much you speak, it's about how deeply you speak. So pause for a moment and ask yourself, when was the last time you truly spoke to Allah? Not just words, but from your heart. Because there is a difference between reciting a dua and feeling a dua, between saying something quickly and pouring everything you carry inside into it. Allah is not looking for perfect words. He is looking at sincerity, at brokenness, at honesty that comes from within. Sometimes we get so busy asking for things that we forget the one we are asking from. We make dua like a list, but forget to make it a conversation. And yet Allah is always there, waiting for you to turn back, not with formality, but with truth.
No matter how far you feel you've gone, the door is never closed. No matter how long it's been since your last deep moment of connection, Allah's mercy has never moved away from you. Turning back doesn't require perfection. It only requires sincerity, a quiet moment, a soft heart, a simple return. And when you raise your hands again, even if your words are messy, even if your voice shakes, even if all you can do is sit in silence, Allah understands it all. Because sometimes the most powerful dua is not what you say, but the fact that you finally turned back. So come back, not as someone perfect, but as someone real. Speak to Him again. Cry if you need to. Be honest if you must. Ask even if you feel unworthy. Because Allah never turns away a heart that turns back to Him. As everything quiets down and the noise of the world fades away, let your heart settle for a moment. Breathe and just be present. Through everything you've felt, everything you've carried, everything you've been through, there is one truth that has never changed. Allah never forgot you, not for a second. Not in your hardest moments, not in your silent nights, not even when you felt the most alone. Every tear that fell from your eyes, He saw it. Every whisper your heart made, He heard it. Every prayer you raised, even the ones you couldn't finish, reached Him. You are not alone. You were never alone. Even when people walked away, even when support faded, even when your world felt like it was falling apart, Allah was there, watching over you, protecting you in ways you didn't realize, holding your life together when you felt like you were breaking. So let your heart rest tonight. Sleep with peace in your heart, not because everything is perfect, but because the one who controls everything is taking care of you. You don't have to carry everything on your own, because Allah is taking care of everything.